Hey guys, so I am back with another video and I'm really excited about this one because in my 2020 goals video I talked about how I wanted to read more and I feel like I did pretty good with that this past month, so the month of January. I read 3 books on my own for the month of January and 3 with my daughter Brooklyn, who is 8.5, excluding the book that she has to read for school because you're only allowed to, well, I guess we could technically read more than what they tell us to per day, but it's really long and boring and neither of us want to do that. But I'm gonna jump right in and tell you what I thought about the books. Just remember, these are my opinions. Doesn't mean the book is terrible, doesn't mean it's the best book ever. It's just how I feel. The first book was actually a reread for me. I read this in high school and remembered loving it. It is Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried. And I remember in high school absolutely adoring this book, and I have an essay that I wrote about this book that is an amazing essay and I love it. So I was like, I should reread this book. I know I have it. So I reread it and I was like, why was I so about that book in high school? It is one of the best books I read in high school, I will give it that. I love that there were different things that they carried figuratively and literally throughout the war. His thing that he carried was something that I also carry. I don't want to ruin it, so go ahead and read this book and figure out what that is. So I do appreciate that, but this book took me forever to read. I started reading it before Christmas and did not finish it until January. So very hard for me to read, but good book. The next book, oh my goodness. I need to have a disclaimer here. All the books I buy at used book sales, so they're like old. But this book I got new in like 2014 or 2015. For a Christmas gift, and I finally read it, is Tyler Oakley's Binge. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I finally read it. It renewed my love for Tyler Oakley. He used to be like my favorite YouTuber. Well, I stopped watching him because now I have children and his videos are not quite children appropriate, so I cannot have them on while my kids are around. I don't even know if he makes YouTube videos anymore, but I realized I still do love him and he is hilarious, and I'm glad I read this book. It was a nice little inside edition of his life and it was great. I have no complaints about this book except for the fact it took me 30 years to read. This book right here, it's called Hidden Girl. There we go. I don't know how to say her name, but this is a true story, and when I picked it up at the book sale, I didn't read the very fine print in between Hidden and Girl, where it says the true story of a modern day child slave. So I didn't really know what this book was about. I'm totally one of those people who just picks up a book and I'm like, ooh, this looks cool. I judge a book by its cover. I'm a terrible human, sorry. But this book is phenomenal. It made me cry. I did not make me laugh, but it made me cry so many times. And it does have a happy ending, and I'm so glad for that. I feel creepy because I kind of Twitter stalked her earlier because I wanted to make sure she still had a good life. And we're good. We're solid. But this book, I normally buy my books at a used book sale, then donate them to my library to have them sell at a used book sale. So it's just the gift that keeps giving. But this one, I am actually tempted to hold on to. And I don't know why, because I'm not going to reread it. But if any of my friends want it, definitely suggest that. So those were the 3 that I personally read for the month of January. And now I have started a book. It is February 1st and I've already started a book. Woo! Now these are the books my daughter Brooklyn read. This first one, much like Things They Carried for me, was a book that took her a very long time to read. I'm not quite sure why. It's called Callie for President. If you watch, I don't even know, one of the What I Got My Kids for Christmas videos years ago, probably 3 years ago, because my youngest wasn't born yet. This was the book that my stepdaughter Callie got for Christmas. She read it, loved it, passed it on to Brooke. Brooke struggled really hard with reading this book, but we finally knocked it out. I honestly think this book was a little too advanced for her. Like I said, she's 8.5. She does read at like a 5th grade level, but it's just the storyline itself was something she didn't relate to and didn't really understand. But she finished it, and I'm proud. This one, on the other hand, was perfect. It is Tink North of Neverland, and she absolutely loved it. It did not take her long at all to read this book. It was, funny enough, kind of too easy for her to read. So we had a little too hard, a little too easy, and then finally we had one that was like perfect for her. This one took her about 2 weeks, I want to say, to read, and she knocked it out, loved it. And I didn't realize this, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't. It's a series. Like, these are actually a series of books. So if anyone has any of the Secret Rescuers books, she read number 2, apparently. Whoops. She loved it, loved the storyline. She is a little sad because the girl's name is Ava. If I were to have another girl, that's what her name would be. So she's a little jealous that maybe future little sister has the same name as the character in this book. But she did love it and talked about it for ages. So those are the 6 books we read for the month of January, and they are leaving my house now. Well, at least 5 of them are. I really don't know if a Hidden Girl is leaving, or Hidden Child, what was it? Hidden Girl is leaving my house or not. I really can't decide. Help me decide. Do I want to be a minimalist, or do I want to like hold on to a book that was really good? Oh, the struggle. Anyway, I'm gonna try to make videos more regularly. I know I say that all the time, but that was also one of my goals for 2020. It just did not make the list. So hopefully I can figure out a schedule to do that, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.